Yeah, well, I'm Christopher Knight. I'm a new faculty member here at Michigan Law. I'll be teaching legal practice. Learning the fundamentals of what lawyers actually do in practice, so how to research cases, how to read those cases, so how to find them, how to actually read them and understand what the court is saying, and then how to write like an attorney, so how to analyze those cases and break them down and distinguish, like one case is helpful, one case is harmful, this one's irrelevant, how to actually do all that and organize all that information into useful work product for a client, which is all I was doing in my career, so I'll be teaching that. Just like work hard, there's like a lot going on, especially your first year. You have these big like doctrinal courses. They're just really heavy and dense, and the first semester grades are so important. Winter semester grades, first year grades in general are just so important that it can be kind of easy to overlook something like legal practice, which isn't graded, right? It's graded differently at least, and I think that's a mistake because legal practice, I'm like the only one teaching you how to do this, and as someone coming out of practice, I use the skills I learned in my legal writing course every single day. Before we moved back to Michigan, I was a litigation associate at the law firm of Mayer Brown, which is a big law firm headquartered in Chicago. I was in the litigation and dispute resolution practice group with a specific focus on class actions and mass torts. So a lot of mass tort action, a lot of antitrust, and a little bit of products. When I was a kid, my dad used to say this phrase is called "go there." He used to say "go there boldly." And that's always stuck with me. I actually have it tattooed on me. And basically what it means is if you're gonna do something, do it. Don't half-ass it or kind of nibble around the edges. Just get in there. Growing up, I think my family and I, we've always just been kind of aware. It's just kind of something that kind of happened where at the dinner table we're talking about some new law or something that's unjust or something that doesn't make any sense. And so I think I was just kind of raised with this natural curiosity about the operation of the law and how does it work? How does it touch our lives? I think that's what kind of piqued my interest. But I didn't decide to go to law school until very late in my college career. For a long time in high school, wanted to be a play-by-play announcer. So, I was dead set on that. And then I got to college and I was like, maybe I'll be a college professor. Because my mom was a college professor. And then at the last minute, I switched to law school. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that. So I'll just put this out here. I think so far, all law-related TV shows are garbage. They're all just bad. They're not, they're good shows, but as far as being accurate reflections of the practice, they're not good. I remember when I was in college, I was like, oh, I love Suits. I can't wait for this to be my life. It's not. It wasn't even close. But there are some pretty good law-related movies, and my favorite is A Few Good Men. I was never a JAG attorney. I had some friends who were JAGs. But there's the trial in particular, everyone focuses on the cross of Colonel Jessup, which is Jack Nicholson's character. That cross is it's famous, but it's garbage. It's really, really bad from a technical standpoint. But of the witnesses before that, leading up, so the medical expert and the private and even the sergeant, what's his face's character, those are gold. Those are so entertaining. As someone that has been to trial and has done an enormous amount of mock trials, it just gives me so much joy. So I really, really like that movie. I take a lot of inspiration from Barack Obama. You know, as a black guy, him being the first black president and a practicing attorney before that, you know, I think seeing him in the White House as a young person, when he was elected, I was like 17. So you guys can do the math on my age. That was like a big deal. That was a huge deal for me. And, you know, regardless of his politics, I think the way he's carried himself has always been a big inspiration. And then personally, I think I take a lot of inspiration from my family, you know, doing things the right way, working hard, trying to think ahead, having a plan, and then executing on the plan, trying to stay ambitious, that kind of thing. I think I got all that from my family. So I think what I'm hoping for the students to get out of my class, I'm just hoping that they come out with some confidence. That's like my number one goal, is just to build confidence when they come out of this first year and they start looking for those 1L summer jobs, and then, you know, interviewing for their 2L summer jobs. They'll be presented with this new situation. What I'm hoping is that they can reflect on my class and say, okay, yeah, I have some tools here. These tools will get me through this chapter, and I can lean on these tools on this career. And I'm hoping that just gives them some confidence to push forward into the future.